All right, back with another Toy Guys Talking Live. Obi is joining us today. I've already asked you how you're doing, but I guess for the sake of the everyone joining us here today, how are you?
I am very well. How is everybody today? Happy Sunday.
Everyone's doing good. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Who we got in the chat? We've already got a bunch of people in here.
Excellent.
Happy Sunday. Sounding good to me, but as always, if there's any audio issues, folks in the chat can let us know. Scuba Pete is here.
Hey.
Pete. And Vince is here as well. The Patreon tribe in full force.
Hey, Vince.
Speaking of the tribe,
those tribe shirts are awesome.
Yeah.
That is a great design.
I guess maybe I should pull it up here.
Do it.
Where would I find that? T public official. It's one of these. Here we go. So pause that and do the good old share screen application window.
Boom.
Here we go.
Look at that.
Is that working? There we go. Now we're both there. Yeah, there's the new tribe shirt.
That's awesome.
Available in all sorts of different colors. It looks pretty sweet in black too.
Absolutely.
Picked up myself a couple of them, so I'll be rocking that on the.
There you go.
On the live streams here.
I'm going to get mine today. I'm getting mine today. I'm also going to get the mug, the coffee mug, and the a sticker as well. Got to do it.
Sweet. Well, thank you very much, and hope you enjoy that. And thanks everyone else who's picking one of those up. I thought it was time to get people are always talking about this community and our community, and I thought it would be pretty cool to have something that represented our community, because it's cool to have like Autobot shirts, or Decepticons or Cobras or Joes, depending on what you identify with. But I think we've created a little something unique of our own, which is kind of an offshoot of all of those things, which is why it's inspired by the Joe logo.
Oh, absolutely. It's the best community going right now. So
I love it. It's been a constant source of fun and also support for me throughout the years. So, much appreciation to all of the good folks in the tribe, to you as well. You are Obi-Wan, because you are number one in my books, good brother.
Thanks, man. You're not too bad yourself.
I try most days. 5 out of 7 days I try.
It's better than most.
I get the weekends off.
Hey, everybody.
Live in the Metal One, welcome. And Mark from Ireland is here. How you doing, guys? Obi, is there anything you want to talk about? Matthew McMullen, good morning.
Oh my God. Jeez. Well, we can't. I don't think we could talk really about New York Toy Fair. I don't think that's happening next month.
Not in its original incarnation, but I'm guessing it's going to be another online virtual.
Actually, last I heard, they were going to postpone it to May, but I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, really makes no difference.
Yeah.
Just show it all online. It all leaks online anyway, so why not? You know what I mean?
This thing is starting to really drag on, and it is going longer than I ever imagined it would go on. But I'm glad the term virtual is starting to really catch on, because I've been enjoying being able to virtually hang out with people, just like I'm hanging out with you, and have several times. I guess, one good thing, maybe I need to get in dodge mode. There's no good thing about what's happening today. I totally get people going, don't give me the silver lining of this stuff. But one huge thing for me, one positive, is the stigma of, online, Skype, Zoom, all that stuff.
Right.
How good could that be? Is going away, and people are finally starting to realize actually, it could be really, really good. It's a phone call where you actually get to see the person.
Right. I used to be on the other side. I used to be like, that's crap. That's no good. It's like the only way to hang out with people, you know?
Yeah.
So far, this is the longest I've not had a face covering on in like a week. So
I've got one on, but it's invisible.
Excellent. I'm going to work on getting one of those. Should put that on TeePublic.
It's also very porous, so I can drink beverages through it.
That helps.
Good brother Bob is joining us. Good morning, toy guys. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Yeah, doing the thing.
Morning, Bob.
Yeah, that's some real words of wisdom there from Bob. Do the thing, yeah.
You got to do the thing.
You don't always have to overthink. You sometimes just do the thing. Omar, how you doing, good brother? And everyone's saying hi to each other as well. Let's see. Recoil, G.I. Joe. Hi, my friends. Greetings from Canary Islands, Spain is in the house.
Wow. Hello, Spain. Nice.
Pete's talking about the tribe shirt. Ordered mine last night. Love that you can pick the color on sale too. Yeah, it's on sale for the next few days. Anytime I put up a brand new design on TeePublic, TeePublic just does that. They knock 35% off on the first 3 days or so. So that's the time to grab them. Cry Demon Slayer. Good morning. Okay. My contacts are a little foggy this morning. Thank you very much. Glad you like them. Yeah, it's been a while since I've designed one of those shirts. This is another one. Hey, what a quinky dink.
Hey, look at that.
But those are a lot of fun to put together. I really get to stretch my artistic Photoshop skills whenever I do those. What are you wearing today?
I mean, what's that?
What are you wearing today? It looks like you got a Mandalorian shirt on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that, huh? This is the way.
That is the way. That is so cool. And it's the prototype Boba Fett look with the white.
Right. I found this on Amazon. I wasn't even looking for it, but I was like, oh, look, Mando shirt. Mine.
It hopped into your cart? Automatically?
Just like that. It always does.
We're in trouble if these things are starting to add themselves to your cart. But it's one step beyond that whole, hey, personalized ads. Would you be interested in this? That's the next step. Hey, it's in your cart. We think you'll like it.
You could delete it later, but yeah, we thought you'd enjoy this.
For a while.
Look, I'll tell you, one of the good things about TeePublic that I'm not sure if a lot of people know, when you go in to order your shirts, you can change the style of the shirt too. Mm-hmm. There's a t-shirt, there's the tri-blend fabric or whatever it is. There's like 3 different t-shirts. There's a ringer style t-shirt, hoodies, all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, since you
colors and all the colors
bring it up, I guess I'll walk people through this in case they're not familiar with it. Yeah, there's all the different colors. You just click on whatever circle you want. Ooh, that orange looks beautiful. But right here, style, you can change it to V-neck. Some people don't like regular t-shirts and go with a V-neck. Ringer t-shirt if you want something old school. And then there's also if you scroll down there, there's hoodies, and there's different styles of hoodies too.
The hoodie is sweet. Oh,
it's really amazing. I wish I could afford all this stuff. It's kind of funny to design it and then just kind of window shop. Oh, it looks so cool. It must be what the Hasbro folks kind of feel like, the folks who design so many of the Transformers and G.I. Joe, even Mattel folks, looking at the stuff through the store window. I made that. I wish I could afford a
Unicron. The guy designed Unicron. Oh, that's so great. I can't afford that.
Yeah. There's you gotta have the masks. Tribe mask.
That's awesome.
There you go.
It looks so nice and green.
Yeah. That was the they let you pick one color as like the showcase color. The thing that I'm a little trepidatious about is that some people will think that's the only color. Like, oh, I don't want it in green. Like, there's 50 colors. It's just that's the showcase color. I thought that would be the proper color to showcase it, and since it's the Joe theme. Looks like a super chat just came in. £5. Thank you very much. Mark, he says, Tribe Vibes. Michael, Obi, what toys are you guys hunting for in 2021? That is an awesome topic. I think we can spend the rest of the hour talking about that.
Oh my God. Well, we'll start with you. What are you hunting for? Or are you hunting?
Yeah, definitely I am now. Definitely. I've gone from 0 to 0 to 60. It feels like I want 60.
Those Transformers are sweet. Those
My
new ones
God.
that you just started picking up. Oh, I mean, I don't collect them, but I love seeing them on the toy aisle. I love seeing them.
Yeah, the pictures I posted on Patreon, I didn't buy all of them. I just, when I'm in that Walmart, I'll snap pictures of whatever's new and say, hey, here's what's new. It looks cool. I did pick up the Warpath and Cyclonus Kingdom. Look amazing. Didn't pick up Beast Wars because got to do the thing with the bills and the groceries. But the Beast Wars look fantastic too. So Kingdom, they have my attention. I mean, Earthrise did too, but Kingdom is, I didn't think Earthrise could be topped. It looks like it has. Classics, Thundercats. Oh boy. Big Bad Toy Store. Thank you very much. Because it's like almost every one of those Thundercats classics, I want them. They look amazing. And then in terms of other stuff, I think that's pretty much it for new stuff. Third-party Transformers, I've kind of started to dial back a bit because I've already got pretty much everything I want. Unicron is coming, so that's the biggest one of the year. How about you?
Oh my God! Well, I have you know my obsession of 6-scale figures. So last year was probably the biggest year I've had for 6-scale. I've never, so that had me dialing back on a lot of other stuff. But as far as what I'm looking for this year, I'm still into the Black Series, Star Wars Black Series. Not all of them, selective. I'm still hot on Mando. Pretty much anything for the Mandalorian. Anything. I don't care what it is. Mouse pads. I don't care. Lunch boxes. Whatever. Footy pajamas.
That's going to hurt the wallet because all the Grogu merch that's coming out now. We went from famine to feast in a year.
Oh man. Other than that, I got a Big Bad Toy Store. I love them. I have a whole bunch of stuff. I do have the Thundercats on pre-order. I mean, I still had the Mattel Lion-O Panthro Wily Cat. I had those, so I was like, even though I like the new ones more, I was like, I'm not going to pay, to get a new one. It's good enough for the display.
Yep. I'd be in the same boat. Like I have the original Pumaira. I won't be getting the new one. But for the people who miss the original ones, what an awesome second opportunity.
Usually second opportunities are not nearly as good.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's far better, I think.
Yeah, there's, I've heard, people aren't happy with some of the paint applications aren't as good or they're different. And I don't know. I'm just, the way I look at it is I missed out. I really wanted the first Lion-O. I missed out. I would have kept missing out. I wasn't going to pay what they were going for on eBay. And it really is so much better than nothing. Just to say better than nothing sounds so defeatist and settling, but it's so much better than nothing.
Yep, absolutely. The body type is better, especially the ankles. That was my biggest gripe with the Mattel figures was the ankles. Ugh, terrible. Super 7 is.
Good brother Chris Fagan is here. Salute to you, Armed Forces. He says, I love your Tiger Force headset. Sort of, yeah. Not enough yellow in there. Maybe I could customize it with some yellow, but thanks for joining us, Chris. Let's see who we got here. Agnetha, hello very much. Thank you for all of your comments you're always leaving on the videos. Much appreciated. Where is Obi's cloak and beard?
Sorry, Agatha, I had to shave it. The Empire's been looking for the Jedi and stuff for the purge and whatnot. I can't get into that right now. I can't disclose my location. And, the robe had to go in the closet too. So.
Much like Boba Fett, they know his face.
Yeah, they sure do.
Gojitron's here. Obi rocking the Mando shirt. This is the way. How you doing?
This is the way.
Scuba Pete got the Toaster and Linters Edition waffle maker. Is that on my store? I don't even know. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a waffle maker.
There's the tribe on the waffle maker. Nice.
Yeah, I got a Nerdmas Day shoe polish. What?
Doesn't even make sense. Do people even use shoe polish now, except for customizing action figures? I see that all the time now. People are using it to do repaints on figures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be trying that, but I definitely want to be polishing up some foggy old canopies. Yeah, like using that clear finish floor polish people have been using. Just restores old Joe canopies that are all cloudy and scratched up and foggy to really shiny again. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a tutorial on that someday. Seymour, good morning to you. Monday, 5 a.m. in New Zealand. Good morning, everyone. If you're in Quebec, you'd be able to go outside right now. Quebec, Canada, the province of Quebec, is under curfew right now. Really? Yeah, from 8 p.m. at night to 5 a.m. in the morning. So much love to all the Quebecers out there. Michael Choi is one of our friends in the Patreon tribe. Hope that doesn't last very long for you folks.
How long has that been going on already?
I think it just started like last night. There's a big thing on Twitter about there's police cars driving around and helicopters and drones. I'm like, okay.
Unbelievable.
I hope it does something, but it kind of makes you scratch your head and go, all right, so it's not as likely to anyway.
Yep.
Let's see. Yes, this is a good topic. Did you see the Centurions coming from Toy Ramen? Yeah, I saw that immediately. You haven't seen that yet?
I haven't.
We will call that up. Yeah, I saw that immediately. I appreciate everyone giving me a heads up about it, saying, "Did you see it?" And yep, I saw it before you did. I just when I'm on my phone, I'm useless when it comes to posting things and stuff like that. I have to do that on a computer. Old school. I need to be able to do that and not that. I just can't figure out how to do it. So I was on my phone when that happened, and I didn't get a chance to post it on any of my websites or anything. But yeah, there's a new company called Ramen. Let's see if we can. That's not the right window.
Yeah, Centurions is a line I always liked as a kid. I didn't collect any of them, and I have such an appreciation for the way they look now. I mean, they're just, what a gorgeous line of toys that was.
Mm-hmm.
Finding them complete is challenging to say the least. So I haven't even bothered to get any for myself.
Definitely one that I always appreciate.
Oh, we lost Michael. We lost Michael. The host has disappeared. Well, everybody, that's it for today. Good night. Not sure if we're still on, so I'll just keep talking. What is everybody else collecting? Mm-hmm. That's good. Sure. Anybody looking forward to any new releases coming out? G.I. Joe, the retro line, etc., etc. Uh-oh. Not sure. Oh, wait. Is he coming back? No, guess not. Just us, folks. So, a little about me. I'm Obi, and I am a action figure junkie. I collect mostly 6-scale figures. That's 12-inch, in case people don't know. Hot Toys, Sideshow Collectibles.
Sorry about that. Thanks for keeping it busy.
I do. I try.
Is that working?
It is now.
Okay, sorry about that. Power outage.
Yeah. Well, these things happen.
This is why I'm glad you were here this time. Were you still on here while I was gone?
I was. I don't know if I was live in the chat, but I was talking anyway.
Yeah, I'm curious. Folks in the chat, did you still see Obi in there while I was gone? No, no, power outage. The Sarge does look good. Scuba Pete with a super chat. Thank you very much. Yes. Obi, the show must go on. Yeah, if I ever drop off on here, I'll be back in like, a minute or two.
If Michael disappears again, jump on. You and I'll.
There's been a couple of power outages here, but what was I doing? I don't know if I should.
You were looking for Centurions, and then everything went. There
we go. So not much has been revealed. This is interesting. View image. There we go. How do we do this? Share screen. Application window. This is just a render for now.
Really?
But there they are.
These are prototypes then.
Yeah, and it's not an official license, so it's called like Naval Commander, Air Commander. They're not the actual names of the Centurions, but it's clearly Jake, Max, and Ace.
Yeah. Sometimes you make out better with the unlicensed.
Yeah, I think they look cool.
Oh yeah.
We'll all be able to get a lot more excited when there's actually something printed out and advanced samples get sent out. I'm hoping that maybe I can get my hands on an advanced sample and really get the word out about them. But hey Matt, how you doing?
Thanks, Matt. I'll see what I can do about that.
But since there hasn't been any Centurions for since 1986,
right?
It was a one and done. It came out that year. It ended that year. There was no.
Same with the cartoon, though. No, the cartoon was only one season, or no?
Same deal. Yeah, I think it was one of those 65 episode runs. So there's a lot of them out there, but it's not like they ever brought it back 10 or 15 years later. There weren't any Funko. There aren't Funko Pop Centurions. There's nothing.
That's how I know a lot of people don't know they exist.
Yeah. So when it comes to this third party stuff, and that's always kind of a gray area to put it mildly, because I don't believe they own the rights.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely a sticky situation when you're doing Transformers that Hasbro is currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
But with Centurions, Hasbro has literally never done any Centurions. They bought Kenner, which did Centurions, but Hasbro's never done anything with it. So in that sense, it's one of these things happening where it's like, well, if you're not going to do anything, like literally not even squeeze them into the Revolution comic IDW like they did with Visionaries a few years ago.
They could very easily have done that.
Yeah, if you're not going to do anything with them for 30, 40 years, let these guys do this, maybe stir up some interest in it. And then, hey, put out some Centurions Classics or Centurions Origins, and we will make them fly off the shelf.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I love third-party stuff. I've got a few in the 6 scale because the company, and they're a lot cheaper. Fantastic. I mean, the build quality is fantastic, but they're a lot cheaper because they don't have to pay for likeness or actual name. So it's great.
And I think it's good to not look at things black or white. It's good to look at them gray. And I hear the people who are very black and white about that stuff, and they go, "No, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Yeah. Wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong." And they don't realize that sometimes these third parties actually revive these things. They create the interest, and people go, "Well, what is this stuff?" And the stuff gets out there. I think a large reason why Transformers are as popular and are as good as they are today is the influence of the third parties.
For sure. for sure. And I mean, and let's face it, Hasbro is knocking it out of the park right now with Transformers. I think they're knocking it out of the park with all their properties right now.
They've taken it back. They've taken it from the third parties. And as a huge third party fan myself for years and years and years, I'm here like to say, like, loud and proud, Hasbro has taken it back. Earthrise and Kingdom is the tops. I mean, it tops Masterpiece in the sense that what you get for that price, you can't beat it. Yeah, the Masterpiece and the third party have more articulation, a little more detail here and there, but it's so much more expensive. In terms of bang for your buck, Hasbro is king right now with Transformers.
Those are pricey. Like that's what the like Takara ones and things like that. Is that it? Are those the Masterpiece?
Yeah, the Takara does most of the Masterpiece, and then Hasbro will take a couple of them and release them in North America.
Right.
They did like Prowl, and even those are super expensive.
Yeah.
Like for a little tiny Prowl Masterpiece, it's so much money. I don't think I've ever actually picked up a Hasbro Masterpiece. Autobot, at least. I did pick up like some of the exclusives they did, like Thundercracker or Skywarp, whichever one is that.
Yeah, for the price, I would just go with a Hasbro route right now. I mean, I'm not even, as much as I love the Transformers, I am not opening that box. I'm not going down that road right now.
Yeah.
Trying to thin the herd.
Agnetha, sorry, has a good question here. Do you have a favorite video game from a popular toy line? That's a puzzler, because I'd say most of them, in my experience, most of the games based on toys I didn't enjoy.
Well, I'm gonna do a deep dive. Going back to the 80s, Mattel Electronics in television. I had the Masters of the Universe game, and I loved it.
Yeah,
loved it. I still have it. I don't know if it works, but I still have it.
I never got to play that one. I'm trying to think of, like, there isn't really a Transformers game I was crazy about. There wasn't one back in the day. It wasn't until recently. The G.I. Joe, the first G.I. Joe game I thought was okay, but really difficult.
Is that the Atari one?
NES. Oh, I forgot about the Atari one. The Cobra Strike. I had forgotten about it. Now I never will.
Worm in there for you. You're welcome.
Yeah. The NES game was fun. I never grew up on the Atari one, so if I had, I'd have the nostalgia everyone else has, and I understand the nostalgia people have.
My age. I get it.
Yeah, I understand the nostalgia people have for it, but I never knew it existed, so that's why I don't have nostalgia. That's a tough one.
It is.
Transform He-Man. There was supposed to be a He-Man game for PlayStation, I believe, and it got canceled. I guess I'll have to go with the NES G.I. Joe, because it was, Joe was gone. The cartoon was gone. We weren't getting Deke here, or maybe I wasn't being able to find it. So it was nice to have some Joe on my TV.
Sure.
So that would be mine.
Oh, yep. We should. Agatha, what was yours? What was your favorite one? Tell us below.
Joe is saying, hope you had a great Christmas. It was pretty good. Hope yours was good too, Joe. Was Santa good to you this year?
Oh, Santa's always good to me. Of course, I'm my own Santa, so Mrs. Toybox and I don't exchange anymore. It's like we just get what we want throughout the year for it just makes it easier.
Yeah, that's how Luana and I are too.
I wouldn't know what to get for her, and she certainly wouldn't know, what to get for me.
Hugs work.
They really do.
And luckily, the older you get, hugs seem to get better.
Yep.
Because like I know hugs from my grandmothers were the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, never underestimate a good hug.
Hey, Chris is here from the Netherlands. Hey. The Flying Dutchman.
What's up?
What the heck, Quebec? That should be a T-shirt. People can be wearing. You can put that on at 7:59 as you're walking home. What the heck, Quebec?
I
I'm sorry to laugh, but if I'm not laughing, I'm crying. So it's you use less tissues if you're laughing, right?
That's true. That is true.
Matt says, my theory is that due to people forced to stay at home, the writers' creative juices have been flowing, allowing us to get great things like Cobra Kai and The Mandalorian. Mandalorian has been awesome. Cobra Kai was out for a couple of years already before all this stuff has been happening. And I'm really happy to see that Cobra Kai, I just finished season 3. I think it's really sticking to what brought it to the dance. It's just as full of heart and soul as the first 2 seasons and the first 2 Karate Kid movies.
I still haven't gotten around to watching it. It's been in my my Netflix queue for a while. I got to get around to watching that because right now that I got nothing else. I got nothing else to watch. You guys at work that have been, did you watch it yet? Did you watch it yet? Did you watch it yet? Right, I'll watch it.
I would say to anyone who even mildly liked the original Karate Kid movie, it is a must watch. And you must watch the Karate Kid 1 and 2 before you watch Cobra Kai. You really have to rewatch those movies because to the people who are making Cobra Kai, those 2 movies, and I guess to some extent the third one too, they mention it here and there, but you can really tell the first 2 movies are sacred. They're holy ground, and they don't just have someone pop up like in other shows or movies. Oh, hey, it's what's his name? Like Bib Fortuna's cameo in Mandalorian is hilarious, right? But it was what it was. In Karate Kid, there would have been a spotlight, and there'd be music, and it's like a camera come in, and like the hero shot. That's what they do in Cobra Kai. Well, not to that extent, but you feel it, right? You feel like whenever someone shows up from one of the movies, it's so different than anyone else showing up in the show because there's like an aura about them and a music cue and the editing and the reactions of the other characters. And you're like, is that somebody? And in season 3, they just did that a few times, brought a couple of characters back from the second movie. And I didn't know who they were. I didn't recognize them. But the way they shot it, it's like, are you? And then you find out they are.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Karate Kid 2 in, oh my God, a long time. And I like that movie. It's just, that one's never on TV.
Yeah. It's not on Netflix either. I don't know about US Netflix, but here in Canada, we've got Cobra Kai seasons 1, 2, and 3. We've got the Karate Kid Part 1 and the next Karate Kid. And that's it.
Really?
No 2 or 3. I don't know why the only reason I think they have the Hilary Swank one is they're going to have Hilary Swank show up because, the final student of Miyagi. And
I mean, she hasn't been too busy lately, so why not?
She did a pretty good show on Netflix recently called Away, but I heard it just got canceled.
Really?
Yeah, that was the one where they fly to Mars. Oh. I liked it. It was, again, old, talking about what Matt wrote, seems to be old values are coming back into entertainment. There's a definite shift happening from like the dark, depressing, everyone's Batman stuff to, hey, let's all just lighten up here.
Everyone's Batman. Talking with a voice. Batman.
We're getting to the point where everyone is Batman, aren't we? Like, how many Batman have we had at this point? Now Robert Pattinson is Batman. Now Michael Keaton is Batman again.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for the Robert Pattinson one?
Yeah, I did.
It looks like it could be good, but I don't know.
Yeah, like you can't judge anything by a trailer, so
yeah, that could be all the good scenes.
If I allow myself to prejudge at all, then I'm going to judge it based on Robert Pattinson and not Twilight so much as The Rover. He was so different in The Rover, and that really showed me his range as an actor. The guy is a fantastic actor. He's not just Cedric Diggory and Edward from Twilight. You got to watch The Rover, and anyone who slags on Robert Pattinson, I think first watch The Rover and then slag on him. It'll be a little bit harder to slag on him because he's a half-wit with a heart of gold, but he's also a psychopath. And like, what is this character you're playing? He just did an amazing job on it.
Most of my closest friends are psychopaths. So I try not to judge.
Bob Hansen says, I ordered 2 shirts in case I rip one after flight. Oh boy, spandex. That's what they need on TeePublic, spandex shirts.
Bob, you gotta record that. Just record that and post it. You flexing and ripping the shirt. That'd be great. I will pay for that shirt.
Chris's big thing that he's looking for. This was another one. I pre-ordered that a while ago. I'm so excited about getting the 1/16 scale Fall Guy truck, especially since Jason hooked me up with a vintage Colt Seavers figure, and I gotta go grab it. It's within reach, so I actually have to go grab it to show it off to all the Fall Guy fans out there.
I used to have the I think Erdl made it, or Corgi made the little match size that was awesome. All right, let's see this.
You gonna sing the theme with me, Obi?
Oh jeez, I don't remember the words.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine. Who made it?
Yeah.
Erdl.
Oh, really?
It came with a plastic Fall Guy truck back in the day.
Which was a Wednesday, if anybody ever asked. Back in the day, it was always a Wednesday.
It was, yeah.
Nice.
I was looking for one of these forever, and Jason sent me one of these in a birthday gift box, and it's perfect. And so I had already had that GMC Fall Guy truck pre-ordered, but I'm a big fan of drivers in the vehicles, and there's no Colt Seavers figures out there, but he will be going in there, and that's going to be so awesome. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine. Hey, I could do that Christmas movie too from Scrooged.
Oh, absolutely.
Lee Majors. Lee Majors Saves Christmas. Oh, that's fantastic.
I wanted to see that movie, something awful, but they didn't do a spinoff, so.
So he was saying, let's see, have it on pre-sale, just waiting now this weekend. Oh, really? That soon? Oh, I didn't know it was that soon. That's awesome. Greenlight's coming out with a couple of more awesome 1/18 scale. Another one I pre-ordered along with that Fall Guy truck is the Faceman Corvette.
Oh, yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have that. For sure.
Ray is still waiting for Kingdom in his area. Plastic will find a way. Speaking of which, congrats to everyone finally able to get Origins in their stores that aren't Walmart's. The exclusive Walmart Origins deal has run out. Now you can get them at Target. Big Bad Toy Store has them all, or had them all.
And I'll tell you, I'm not going to collect them, but I cannot tell you the joy it brings me to see those on the aisles, on the toy aisles. And they've been plentiful, at least in my area, which is rare because we usually don't have a lot of stuff. But it's so nice to see the old school packaging, Battle Cats galore. It's just really, really cool. It brings a big smile to my face.
Good memories. I saw Roboto hanging on.
Oh, did you? I haven't seen that one yet.
There's just the only single carded figures I've seen here yet. They've had the Sky Sled and Battle Cat. They never had any of the single carded figures for some reason. I guess they were flying off the pegs before I ever saw them there. But I came in one day and they had Merman and Roboto. And Merman, I'm fine. I've got the commemorative Merman. I've got the Super 7 vintage style Merman. I don't really need an Origins Merman. But Roboto, they're on the pegs, transported back to 1980. Was it 5 when Roboto was released? 5 or 6, I think it was 5. And it looks so close to the original one. To me, it's as good as a reissue of original Roboto. So I had to pick it up, and it was like 15 Canadian too. It blew my mind. Like, how is that even possible? Like, aren't they supposed to be 15 US, 20 Canadian? So
that's the other thing. The price point on those is really good. I mean, the scale of the figure is, you would expect probably 20. I mean, the Black Series figures are 20. A little bit smaller.
Yeah, Earthrise are 30 usually. So,
No,
man, talking about bang for your buck, those
love it.
Origins. Those Origins are great. And plus all of the limbs come off on Origins and you can mix and match. Which
nice.
yeah, they don't really mention that anywhere, but you
Nope.
can customize your own guys.
Really awesome.
Let's see, getting back to some of the comments here. Good Brother Draws is here. For this year, I hope to get some MOTU Origins figures. So Big Bad Toy Store, for the people who just don't want to deal with the hunting and will I ever find a Scareglow or a Ninjor? Yeah, Big Bad Toy Store, you can just grab a couple if you want. You know, one to open, one to keep main on cart. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with scalpers who fill up an entire cart.
Crazy. That's the best part too about Big Bad Toy Store. I use them mostly for things that I don't find. I don't think that I will find at retail. You know, I'm like, all right, I'll pre-order it. You know, $4 flat rate shipping. I mean, come on. You know,
one thing I'm hearing more more and more about Big Bad Toy Store is when collectors want really nice packaging, it's like I'll go with Big Bad Toy Store because you just like you're usually going to find something dented and bent and damaged on card or in box at the Walmart or Toys R Us here in Canada. And you're usually going to have it perfect from Big Bad Toy Store, even if it's not the collector grade, because they have different grades. You can pay a little bit more for the perfect packaging, but I always pick the lesser one, standard grade. It's always perfect.
I've never had an issue with anything from BBTS ever.
And this isn't a paid advertisement for Big Bad Toy Store, by the way. Like,
however, if they want to,
yeah, like none of my videos for Toys R Us, you know, were paid either. I love the place. So now that there isn't a Toys R Us in the States to go into, we still have it here in Canada. They're currently under lockdown. Like, I can't go into a Toys R Us. It's so nice to have a virtual Toys R Us, virtual toy store and Big Bad Toy Store. And that's one of those virtual things that we can all still enjoy. Just jump on a site like Big Bad Toy Store or something else, eBay too, and just do some window shopping and browsing.
That's it. Yeah, it's a great place to see stuff that isn't coming out for even like a year or so. All pre-orders. Nice. A lot of good stuff there.
Lee Majors is still kicking. He just wants to work. I just want to work until the end. Working on some small roles. He was the voice of Hawk in G.I. Joe Renegades. And he's Ash's father in Ash versus Evil Dead.
What a perfect casting that was.
Yeah, absolutely perfect.
That was awesome.
And I love that he can still do the Lee Majors, eyebrow cock. Like he's got permanent rock eyebrow.
Little rock.
Chris says, P.S. Love the Nerdmas Day shirt. Check out the Michael Mercy merch. Lots of cool shirts, hoodies, and stickers. Thanks so much, Chris. I love it when you guys do shilling for me because I suck at shilling. I got like a built-in warning detector thing. Warning! Too much shilling! Boba Hicks likes the 1-2-3 Karate Kid. That's 1-2-3 Kid was a wrestler. And that'd be an interesting deep fake, putting the 1-2-3 Kid into Ralph Macchio's face in the Karate Kid. I forgot to mention Uncle Deluxe is here. Eric, who had that poster of Heather Thomas in the pink bikini on their wall in the 80s. Yeah, I didn't. I guess I was still too young to have pictures of girls on the walls. But definitely when I rewatch The Fall Guy, I can see why you would want that on a poster. That is a fit. That's a fit lady right there.
Cool.
For the longest time, I thought Markie Post was on The Fall Guy.
Really?
Or was she?
I don't think so.
No.
Was she?
The girl from Night Court.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Uh, shop smart, shop S smart. Have you seen Ash versus Evil Dead? You've seen it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't finished the last season yet. But my God, what a great show! It's so much fun.
Yeah. So if you dig that, that's Cobra Kai. Like,
Oh,
like
that'll be the next show I watch.
yeah, like they adore, they revere the movie, and
Right.
then the show is just basically more of the movie, and it's really those two shows in particular are really making me want more shows based on old movies instead of like if I
Reboots.
see yeah a reboot or like a reunion movie. I don't want a reunion movie because it's so much hype and anticipation, and then
Sure.
it comes out and then it's like what's for dinner.
Right.
It's in and out of your head, whereas these shows you get to savor them week to week if you can avoid binging them, and it just
Yep.
makes it feel like a lot more satisfying return and reunion and celebration of the old thing rather than like Rambo 5. Yeesh.
You
It's like
really didn't like that.
yeah, you can put me down as undecided for Rambo 5. But
Watch.
Rambo would have been perfect as a series. The final Rambo, him coming home, him, if you had just taken Rambo 5, the whole idea of that movie, turned it into a series, toned it down a little bit, not made it so bleak. That would have been a cool series. It's, week to week, people would be going, "Oh, what's Rambo going to do to him this week? And what's he going to do to him that week?" And
Yep.
all the mercenaries are coming in. Like you have these little milestone moments week to week, and instead of just
a really good 8-episode show.
Mm-hmm. I've got my fingers crossed for a First Blood series based on the novel, like a more true. Even though I love First Blood, the movie, after reading the book, I realized it's not very accurate to the book, and I think the book is perfect. It's primed for a Netflix series.
The book is incredible, and you never read the part 2, right? The book.
Not yet. I'm trying to hunt down a copy of First Blood Part 2 because Morel wrote that one too, right?
I think it's out of print. If I come across mine, I'll send it your way because I have the paperback somewhere.
Thank you very much. I got to check Abe Books again, see if it's on there too, or maybe
that was such a good book.
Even better would be like ebook version that I can read on this deal right here because blow up the font. For folks who are watching my old Sobs reviews, the 80s mercenary books, someone just scanned a bunch of them and put them around, and you can get them now and read them in ebook form, which is actually even better for me because the old paperbacks are really tiny print, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. So now I can actually read what used to be on a little tiny paperback. It's 4 times as big now, reading the Sobs books. So maybe the Rambo First Blood Part 2 book is in that form too.
I was never a fan of e-readers for the longest time. And then first book I read on it, I was like, it was a series. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait I can get the next book right now.
Mm.
And then that was it. I was hooked. So, but love it.
Chris says the Marquee Post was his bail bonds lady that he worked for. So she was on the show. I think it was later on. Showed up later on.
Oh, good call.
Also, Eric is confirming. Yeah. Everything is just blending together. I've been watching some Night Court and I love it. That first season is really, really well written.
Since it came out, but I loved it when it was out.
Matt says, Michael, do you think it was awesome when Dirk Benedict used to acknowledge the Cylon in the opening credits?
Yes.
One of the first Easter eggs on TV. And from what he said in an interview, that was Dirk's idea. They were shooting, I think, at Universal Studios, and that was just a spur of the moment. Why don't you guys get a shot of the Cylon walking in front of me? And if I'm remembering the interview, it was something to the effect of, we can't rights, and they're Universal, or we're this and that. And he's like, just get a shot of it. And when they did, when it got to the editing stage, once again, why gray thinking is better than black and white. The black and white would have been, nope, don't get it. We can't do it. The gray thinking, which is Dirk, is like, why not? When it got to the editing stage, oh, we have to use that. That's amazing. It's a Cylon walking in front of Starbuck.
I mean, they don't say Cylon, so I would think that would be copyright infringement.
And they use the actual sound effect. I think you hear the so it was pushing the envelope, but it was a really nice Easter egg, like one of the first great Easter eggs of any TV show. Great nod by Dirk. I just love the huh. He's trying to figure out how to con the Cylon.
Not gonna work.
Gunstar, how you doing? He says Cobra Kai feels like a classic show that you will rewatch and love years after. Mm-hmm. It made me want to watch Karate Kid again. I watched it again recently after finishing season 3 and finding even more things that I forgot about, like, oh, that song, they use that song in season 3. And yeah, so it seems like they go over those movies with a fine-tooth comb to find every little thing to, make it special again. Joseph says, I love all 3 Karate Kid movies, but it always seemed weird to me that Daniel would be scared to fight in the 3rd movie after fighting to the death in the 2nd with Chosen.
Right. Give him that. Yeah.
I agree with you. The 3rd one definitely doesn't feel as, true. It's not vibing as much with the first 2. About all it's good for in Cobra Kai is like the, occasional shot of Miyagi saying something. So they did that in Cobra Kai season 3. It's like, oof, yeah, segments are good. Don't show a 15-minute segment of that movie, but you can show little clippets and stuff and it'll work. But even like Daniel and Miyagi arguing and fighting and having a falling out felt really wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mac is asking if Big Bad Toy Store delivers in countries outside the US and UK. They definitely deliver to Canada. They have for many years, and shipping price has been great. And I believe they ship to the UK as well.
I don't remember ever seeing something that said that they don't. So I would imagine
they must. Just because like some of the exclusives that people haven't been able to order off of Hasbro Pulse or other exclusives like San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, they've shown up on Big Bad Toy Store, and that's people's way of getting it. Hello, Anthony. How you doing?
Hi, Anthony.
Ray thinks Earthrise is better than Siege. It seems to be like constant improvement. Siege, Earthrise, Kingdom. Imagine if they just come out one day with something to the equivalent of Action Masters. And they're like, well, back to the drawing board. They don't transform. They got barely any detail. They don't come with anything. Enjoy. Like, what happened? What happened?
I don't think that would fly too well. The collectors are demanding people. Most of it.
Uncle Deluxe, love Night Court. I used to watch it that with my dad. Good memories. Dan Fielding, Dan the man.
Fielding.
Who do you think was a better Lothario? Is that the proper term? A guy who is like a skirt chaser? Sam Mayday Malone or Dan the Man Fielding?
I'm going Sam Malone. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
He was definitely the more likable of the 2.
Yeah, definitely. Dan was so sleazy. I when I was a kid, I never got them confused, but I thought they were so similar. John Larroquette and Harrison Ford. So now today, clearly Harrison Ford has had the bigger career and he's more well known.
Yeah.
But as a kid, who all I had to go on was dozens of Night Court episodes, I felt like I was more familiar with Dan Fielding with John Larroquette because I had seen dozens and dozens of Night Courts. And I saw a couple of movies with Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones, I saw 2 of those. Last Crusade hadn't come out yet.
Can't forget the best John Larroquette movie, which was Star Trek 3.
Oh, he's in that.
The Klingon.
Oh, right. Well, Klingon, right? That's why I didn't recognize him. But when I
kill me.
But when I was watching Night Court, I always thought these guys are so similar. They're tall, they have deep voices. I always thought Ford's voice was unusually deep for how he looked and how he acted. Because he's kind of like, like a fidgety, what's that? What's going to happen next? But he's got this super deep voice, which offsets that kind of
very gravelly
scarediness. So yeah, it would have been interesting. John Larroquette as Han Solo.
Oh my God! And
Harrison Ford as Dan Fielding. Alternate universe. That's what happened.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, John Larroquette was in Stripes as well. With
right. Somewhere in an alternate universe, John Larroquette is like being hounded by Star Wars fans. No, I don't want to do any more of those. I hate the costume. We killed him off.
He's so happy about
that. Max said the T-shirt rocks. The explosion reminds me of MacGyver.
Yeah. Definitely.
Da-na-na-na-na. Which is interesting because I made this T-shirt out of a peanut shell and a dead battery.
No paperclip?
Yeah, actually there is. Holding a tag on. Got to put a tag on it, right?
Yeah. What size it is.
Charles says I like that we could still watch old classic TV shows and movies we love with HD version for rabbit ears over the air.
Oh my God, the rabbit ears.
Yeah. I'm loving rewatching my old favorites in HD. It's really making everything old new again. And it's kind of the equivalent of toys where a new toy will come out, like a modern G.I. Joe or Kingdom Transformers or these Origins. And it's not what came out originally, but it's how we remember it. And we go, yeah, even though it didn't move like this, I remember it looking this good and moving like this. And when I watch a show in its original form, SD, I go, oof, that's rough. And then when I see HD, I think that's the clarity and the vividness that I remember in it. It's not the actual show, it's our perception. When we're younger, everything is a lot more vivid, clear, and intense. So it's really cool that we get to experience, once again, revisit that clarity thanks to HD.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think when we were kids too, we were watching the show to watch the show. And picture quality didn't so much matter. I mean, I remember watching a lot of UHF stuff. You couldn't see the picture hardly at all. But I loved, the old Godzilla movies. I used to love that stuff, but you couldn't even see what was happening. Yeah. Now I watch it, I was like, oh my God, that's what was happening?
What's interesting with the shows, I'll take an HD version almost any day of the week over the original SD version. And even if a show is not available in HD, it's like, oh, I hope it will be. Like Werewolf. You remember Fox's Werewolf?
Yeah.
Can you hear me running? That was the creepiest show. And it's been in limbo forever because of the music rights. Because no one has a track that they can remove the songs and remix the audio. So it pretty much has to be released in its original form, which is good. That's what we want. We want it with the original songs. But the problem in North America is you need the permission, you need to pay the artists, and the DVD release that was supposed to happen, I think 11 years ago, it got hung up by 2 of the artists who said, nope, they either wanted more money or they didn't want to license their song at all. They said, we licensed it in 87 and that was the deal, and a deal's a deal, and we're done, and we're not beholden to you in perpetuity to let you keep using our song. So it tanked the DVD release, and it's a real shame. Well, Werewolf just got releases. For anyone who remembers 87 Werewolf on Fox, it just got released in France on DVD. Ooh. And it doesn't look good from the reviews I've read. It's like an original VHS version of it, but all of the music is intact. And there you go. So Werewolf is out there now, finally, officially. And through the magic of the internet, you can get it. Like, just because it's not in North America, you can still get it. But, you know, hearing that the picture quality isn't very good, I'm thinking, man, I really want to see that show in HD. Because
Well, it's only a matter of time, probably till somebody, if it's available, like the VHS version, somebody will clean it up. Hopefully, there's always somebody that cleans these things up.
Or like, because I feel like there was, again, it might have been France. France really loves the show for some reason. It's kind of like how the French always thought Jerry Lewis was a comedic genius. But I feel like it might have been France or some European country that was streaming it, and it might have been close to HD. And Werewolf fans were asking, where did they get this copy? Like, where did they get this master that looks better than any version of this show has ever looked? So the masters might be floating around over there somewhere, and hopefully they can get an even better release of that show. But that was, you know, for anyone who liked the Incredible Hulk, same concept. You got a guy who's been infected. He's a werewolf. He's looking for the guy who infected him, because that's the way it goes. If you can kill the guy who gave you the curse, then you're released from the curse. And he's just on the run. And the music, like the biggest part for me, if I can get my hands on a copy of it, is to hear all those classic 80s tunes in it.
Love 80s tunes.
Chris says, didn't Glenn Larson do both A-Team and Battlestar? He did Battlestar, but A-Team was Stephen J. Cannell. Da, na, na, na.
Guys did, like, I think they did everything, right? I mean, if it wasn't one, it was the other. If it wasn't Glenn Larson, it was you know, Stephen
Who was the other guy? Belisario was the other guy, wasn't he? He did Airwolf and Magnum.
Oh, did he do Magnum?
Yeah, I think Belisario was Magnum. Larson, I don't know. I'm feeling like Larson may have been involved with Magnum as well. And then you got Mike Post and Pete Carpenter, who did the music for so many great shows.
God. Absolutely. Yeah, they're probably still getting paid. Well, or if they're not around, their estate is getting paid.
One of them passed away. I think Pete Carpenter might have passed away. Don't quote me on that. Joseph says, you can sing us a tune. I just did. Yeah. Interestingly enough, the only song I can sing is The Unknown Stuntman.
They're all worse songs.
Marcus says, Michael, were you a fan of Due South 94 Canadian show? I never watched it. I actually didn't watch many Canadian shows because maybe Airwolf season 4 had something to do with it. My goodness. Airwolf season 4, they moved Airwolf from the USA Network to Canada. And so Canada did the 4th season of Airwolf, and that is a piece of work. You can put me down as undecided for that one. So the Canada shows always had a much lower production quality than all the slick stuff that the States was producing. So yeah, I've never seen that one. There is a Canadian show I want to get back into. Just talking about Werewolf a minute ago. There was a Canadian show called Forever Night, and it was about have you seen it?
He was a cop, but he was a vampire. Was that the one?
Yes. Filmed in Toronto. Forever Night. Ran for 3 seasons. Yep. And I've never seen the whole show. I saw a couple of them back in the day on Wednesday.
Yeah, I never watched the whole season, but I would catch it from time to time. I always enjoyed it when I watched it. Though. Cool. It was a good concept.
I definitely want to get back into that because instead of just your typical vampire biting people, he's a cop. He's fighting crime. He's a good guy, and he's got to deal with, you know, his thirst for blood. He's got to deal with the sun. The way he explains it is, I've got this medical condition. I'm allergic to sunlight, and they just all buy it. They're like, oh yeah, he's allergic to sunlight. So he's always on the night shift. And he drove around in, like, I think a Cadillac that had the biggest trunk of any car so that he could hop in the trunk during the day if he got caught.
You know how it is.
Yeah. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome.
Hello.
Max says the joke is many TV shows and movies. Music has inspired me to go buy the CD. It's like free advertising for their music. Absolutely. You remember BG and the Bear, Obi?
Oh yeah, BJ and the Bear, and the spinoff of what was it, Sheriff Lobo?
I didn't know there was a spin-off to that show.
Look it up. Yeah, there was a good film. Yeah, because Sheriff Lobo, if I remember right, Sheriff Lobo was always trying to get BJ on the show and whatnot. He ended up getting a spinoff.
That's one of the first shows I can remember, BJ and the Bear.
I used to love that truck. Oh, I love that truck.
My earliest memories are, BJ and the Bear in the truck, Convoy.
Oh, Convoy.
With Chris Christopherson. And that's why when Optimus Prime rolled into my life, I was already familiar with the awesomeness of the tractor trailer.
Oh, it's awesome.
Space Above and Beyond. I've never seen that one.
That was good. Short-lived, but again, Fox. Fox is where great sci-fi goes to die.
Was that Roddenberry? Did he do that one?
I don't think so. But it was I think it was only one season. I enjoyed it a lot.
I mean, as soon as you said Fox, I just assumed it was one season.
Don't know why Fox even greenlights anything sci-fi. No, just like, yeah, we're going to greenlight that. I mean, we'll cancel it next year, but it's fine.
Yeah. Firefly, anyone? Hey, that needs a next Netflix or whatever, Amazon reunion series. Yeah, I don't want a Firefly movie. I want a series. Bring it back.
Yeah, because I like the show. Serenity was okay. Yeah.
It wasn't a Western. It wasn't a Western.
No.
All the Western vibe was gone, and they changed the colors from brown, dusty, gold to blue and dark. So I
thought it wouldn't work in the theater, having the colors of a Western.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I loved it. It was sci-fi Western, and then the movie was just sci-fi. Chris says, I do not acknowledge Airwolf season 4. They didn't even have a flying helicopter for that one.
What?
Any flying footage that you see of Airwolf flying in season 4 of Airwolf is reused footage from the first 3 seasons.
Really?
Yep. They only had a helicopter that sat on the ground and they could get in and out of, but it never actually could take off with the actors in it. How's that for shoestring budget? Yeah.
That's ridiculous. They couldn't afford fuel or a pilot.
This is turning into an Airwolf discussion. Airwolf season 4 is what they had to install the mini bar in the helicopter. Is that when they?
Wow.
I don't remember that, but I've watched most of the first episode and then tapped out. It's brutal, man, and it looks terrible too. The first 3 seasons of Airwolf on Blu-ray look incredible. I think Airwolf is the gold standard of remastered old shows. It is so spectacular, Airwolf. I had no idea that an 80s show could look that good. Some of them can't because they were filmed on video, but Airwolf was filmed on actual film. So like when it was originally on TV, I mean, the TV resolution was low, but the potential for the resolution was like fill your wall up, even though it wasn't being used to its fullest in the 80s. And then you put in season 4 of Airwolf, and that was shot on video, and it's just brutal. Like it looks terrible. It looks like high school. What's that?
The first 3 seasons. How's the sound quality? I always used to love the sound effect.
Amazing. Eerie. I
love that sound.
That howl.
Almost like a whisper to a howl. It was so nice.
Yeah, very unique. And every single time Airwolf peeks its head up, and the sound is fantastic too. Sometimes the detail, sometimes it's not a good thing to have so much detail because you can really see the bloodshot eyes, the watery eyes, and the sweat on Jan Michael Vincent. Yeah, you can see him descending into his alcoholism and drug use. That's not such a good thing, but the lady looks fantastic in HD.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to give that a whirl. Pun intended.
Oh, here's another 80s show. Highlander is shot between Paris and Vancouver.
First season was a tough watch, and then after that, it found its own way, and I enjoyed that series a lot.
I tried it because I think the first episode had Connor McLeod in it, didn't it?
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to check it out. Oh my God, Connor's in this, and it was kind of It production quality wasn't
I
quite
think
there.
like it's like the third or fourth episode, something like that. Roddy Piper was the bad guy.
Oh,
As
really?
uh, yeah.
The ultimate Highlander.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Really. Yeah. Yeah.
Transformers and video games. Hello there. Happy New Year to you as well. I've never heard of Kindred.
Nope.
Hmm.
No.
Thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah. No, I've never heard of that. See, we're getting new shows.
Yak Bat just bought the complete Forever Night DVD collection. Cool that they're still selling it out there. Good to know.
That's awesome.
Robotech cartoons. Those have been remastered and they look amazing.
Yep. Yep.
Still on Netflix, I believe.
Robotech?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's on. Was it Tubi?
Oh, okay. That's where I started watching it years ago on Netflix. Just hoping it's still there.
I just finished watching the reboot of Star Blazers.
Star Blazers. What's that?
Oh, you didn't see that? That was late '70s anime. Highly recommend that. They did two seasons for North America and a third season in Japan. The space battleship Yamato.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
They did a live action movie of it in 2010. It was all right, but my God, the original cartoon, I still watch it. I have the box set of both, and they rebooted it. Same storyline for the seasons. They rebooted it with new animation, same sound effects though, which is great. I'm glad they kept that. Mostly the same music. The characters have the Japanese names, so it's not the American names that I grew up with. But I was like, it doesn't take you long to figure out who's who.
Mm-hmm.
And the storylines are a little bit more in depth. So you actually see, because it's an interstellar war type of thing, but you get to see it from both sides this time instead of just the Earth side. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
really,
awesome.
really good stuff. Really good stuff.
It kind of reminds me of when I was watching some of the Grandizer Japanese versions of the episodes, because the American versions chop them down a bit. And then the Japanese versions, the writing is so much better if you just read the subtitles. And then you've got the extra stuff that really fills the episodes out a lot more.
That I'll have to check, because I don't care about the subtitles, because especially with like Grandizer, all those, like was it Guy King and all that stuff. I watched it for the robot fights. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't care what they're saying. I don't care. But yeah, good stuff.
Eric loved the Highlander show.
Yeah.
And Ray says Duncan MacLeod over Connor MacLeod. So there's a couple of votes for the show. I love the first movie, so it would be cool to check out the show sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, the original movie was great. I'm surprised that hasn't been rebooted.
Highwaymen.
Oh.
Is that the kind of mask show where the truck transforms and has a helicopter that comes out of it?
I don't know.
I think there was a live action show that had like a truck. I think it took place in the future, and a tractor trailer opened up and there was a helicopter in it. And it was kind of mask like.
No, that's not ringing any bells.
Firefly, sigh. Joss Whedon keeps teasing us with a Netflix. I love Firefly and I love the first Avengers, but Joss Whedon can kiss my tuchus. What he did to Washburn, I cannot. It's not that I can't get over it. I can't unlearn what I learned when he did that. Right. That's how I look at it. When he took out Washburn the way he took him out in that movie, I learned something about Joss Whedon and what he thinks of his audience and what he thinks is funny and entertaining. And I don't think you do that. It's like piercing and killing Chewbacca in the Falcon in the third Star Wars movie in Return of the Jedi. You don't do that. And he did, and he thought, why not? And it just says to me, oh, so you don't have as much reverence for your own characters that your fans have for them. That's not a good combination.
Absolutely not.
I apologize for my language, by the way. I don't usually use the word "tookus," but I get worked.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let it slide. But
I think when you get worked up, you got no choice but to swear.
take it down to that potty mouth. Come on now.
You know,
the family show.
To heck with it. Sometimes you just got to say, what the hey. Gojitron says, before 80s cartoon boom, it was Battle of the Planets, Star Blazers, and Force 5 by Jim Terry. Yeah, that's how I was introduced.
Goji knows. Because, Goji actually only lives about a half an hour from me.
Is he in Massachusetts?
Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, we've never gotten together. Eventually we will. There's some good toy shopping up his way.
ScubaCon.
ScubaCon.
the traveling tribe convention.
with flippers like Scuba Steve with the Scuba Squad.
Scuba Pete.
Oh man. Battle of the Planets. So wow, that was a good show.
Alien Resurrection. Joss had something to do with that too. I think he had a bit to do with the script. He worked on the script a bit, but I think by the time the movie was done, a lot of everyone's stuff was taken out. That was one that was constantly in flux.
That movie was done before it was even out, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Alien Resurrection was done the moment Alien 3 came out. Like, where do you go from there?
Yeah, you got nothing. What a shame.
And who was going to do another Alien movie recently? He wanted to ignore Alien 3 and 4 and just pick up where Aliens left off. It was the guy who did Chappie. Yeah, he did Chappie and Area 51, maybe it was called.
Was it District 9?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. So he had concept art of Michael Bihn's face all melted from the acid blood.
That would have been great, especially after seeing him in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, he was great in that.
Oh, it was so good seeing him. I didn't even recognize him at first at the beginning of that episode, and I'm like, wow, this guy looks familiar. Oh my God, it's Michael Biehn.
Yeah.
What a cool guy.
Thank you, Draws. That was Neil Blomkamp who wanted to do
there we go.
The Alien thing, and now I think apparently he's working on a new RoboCop too. Same deal, trying to pick up where the second one left off, maybe where the first one left off. I'm not sure, but he wants Peter Weller back as old Robo.
Oh, how cool would that be?
Mm-hmm.
If he's not going to do that, he has to do a new Buckaroo Banzai because
Against the World Crime League. We're waiting. We're still waiting.
He's that at the end of the credits. Buckaroo Banzai will be back.
I just watched that. There was a documentary made on Buckaroo Banzai, and they got all the cast together to talk about the movie. And to this day, Peter Weller still sits there and goes, "I don't know what this movie's about."
Neither do we.
That's the whole magic. That's the whole point.
It's a regular who's who in that movie. I mean, there's so many well-known people in that just probably want to take it back. Unfortunately, but I like it.
Jesse's asking, any plans on doing another movie commentary? I enjoy those, especially the one you did for Fletch. That one was a blast. Did that with Eric and Scuba Pete. Keep up the great work, Nerd Mistake. Thank you very much. The next commentary has been in the works for a while. We just got to grab a day to do it. Delta Force is
nice.
I figured that would be a nice compliment or follow up to Megaforce, because if Megaforce is the G.I. Joe the G.I. Joe cartoon, then Delta Force is the G.I. Joe comic.
Oh yeah, the live action of the comic for sure.
I would imagine Larry Hama watches Delta Force and goes, "Not bad." So I feel like it's a Larry Hama Special Missions issue.
That was underrated too when that came out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Krull. I haven't forgotten about Krull. I watched Krull for the very first time a couple of weeks ago. Loved it. Such an awesome movie.
I haven't seen it since it originally came out. So
fantastic.
I remember liking it back then. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. I mean, it's up there with Willow in terms of, pre-Lord of the Rings, great fantasy movies.
Nice. Now I'll have to give that a rewatch.
V, that one terrified me when I was a kid.
Was it the whole lizard thing?
Oh, yeah, creepy. And it was confusing too, being a kid growing up on very, good versus evil cartoons. Even some of the movies, good versus evil, Terminator, clearly evil against the good guys. And then V had like people defecting. And I'm like, this is weird. What do you mean defecting, changing sides? Because I think one of the lizard people defected to the human side.
Robert Englund.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Willie. His name was Willie.
Hmm.
I don't know why I remember that, but
there's another great restored show on Blu-ray. 80s Magnum PI is my favorite digitally remastered show, but I would love to see 21 Jump Street TV series in HD. My Secret Identity. I watched a couple of My Secret Identities on YouTube a couple of months ago, and they're great.
That I've never seen.
I am probably the only person in history to go on a Jerry O'Connell kick.
Other than Jerry O'Connell?
You almost look like you're like something was happening there.
Oh, he's fine.
But I finished watching all of Sliders that I could.
Yep.
I take Sliders right before Arturo's death. That's where Sliders is canceled for me. I don't go past that. So I love season 1. Season 2 was great. A lot of season 3 was great. And I'm like, I again probably never uttered these words, but I needed more Jerry O'Connell. So I remembered watching My Secret Identity when I was a kid. I'm like, oh, I'll look this up, and I watched a couple episodes, and it's so awesome. It's so endearing. Ultraman, fantastic. And then I found another show with him, which is great too. It's called Carter. I'm told it's basically a Canadian version of Castle, where he's an actor on the show. He's an actor playing an actor, and he did a show where he's a detective. And then he leaves the show and he goes and he helps a police department solve crimes. And, it's like, hey, I'm not a detective, but I played one on TV. Here's what this guy did in this one episode. And he's right most of the time. So it's actually really, really fun, amazing production quality. You wouldn't be able to tell it's a Canadian show. Like, luckily today with lighting and cameras, it's really even the playing field. And it's also really fun too. Like it doesn't, no one's Batman on the show, I can say, on Carter. Yeah, it's just a fun show. Gojitron says Whedon's cachet has nosedived since Justice League.
Yeah, probably even before that. Yep.
Yeah, didn't he do the second Avengers?
Yeah, and that's when he started to. I guess he got into some sort of bad situation with the Marvel execs and whatever. But and of course that movie wasn't as well received as the first Avengers movie. So
I remember thinking that second Avengers movie was just okay, and I thought that shouldn't this feel a lot more special and mind-blowing with all this cast that you have. But the first one got it right. The first one was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And then the second one was just another kick at the can.
Yeah, it was all right. It's the weakest of the Avenger movies.
Gaz says, hi Gaz, by the way. In V, there was a faction called the Fifth Column that helped the humans. Did you ever see the reboot of V?
I didn't.
It was okay. I thought it was okay. Yeah, it was okay.
How long ago was that?
A couple of years ago. Really? Speaking of Firefly, Anura was in it.
Oh yeah?
She's one of the, if I'm remembering correctly, she's one of the alien higher-ups, I think. So it was good to see anyone from Firefly pop up and get some work.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about this, Obi? Do we need a live-action Thundercats movie, or is it even possible?
Do we need one? No. Would it be cool? Possibly. Would
it be cool? No.
It could be. I just think that it's one of those things where studios would get overly involved and just ruin the whole thing.
Yeah. It always comes down to who's doing it and how much power do they have.
Right. I mean, if you're going to do live, I would still love to see live action Masters of the Universe. A well done one. You keep hearing, oh yeah, it's coming, it's coming. I've been hearing that for 20 years.
So. Check out Krull. There's your live action Masters of the Universe. Sorcery and magic and lasers. I watched that movie and went, this is a better live action He-Man movie than the live action He-Man movie was.
Yep.
This might be a t-shirt. Nerdmas Day is the way.
There you go. It is.
And classic action figures, as my guilty pleasure TV show was Roswell. Never saw that one.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Krull, still amazing. Yeah, if you can get past the main character's tight pants. He's wearing the tightest tight striped pants that you'll ever see. But different time, different planet. What can you say?
Tighter than the uniforms in Megaforce.
About as tight. About as tight.
Right. Those were something special.
He had the headband to offset the tight suit, though.
That's true. Good point. That always offsets it. Oh man.
Christopher Bouchard says, "Sup, buddy? Just got the new classified Firefly figure. By chance, when the next History of G.I. Joe video be up? In a bit. Working on History of Masters of the Universe 84 right now. Yeah, putting that together. Those take a lot of time, a lot of editing, a lot of very precise, intricate tweaking and playing. I have a lot of fun with those. So, yeah, there will be more G.I. Joe and Transformers to come.
Cool.
Oh yeah, Jesse, definitely. That's got a great director. We were just saying, in the right hands. This Dune movie is in the right hands. Denis Villeneuve, whatever his name is. Yeah, Blade Runner 2049 director. He'll do a great job, and I'm looking forward to reading the book too. Let's see. Shannon says Thundercats. Maybe we could use live action G.I. Joe though. We could use a live action G.I. Joe movie, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Well, nice.
Snake Eyes is still coming, right? Supposedly.
We'll see if that's a G.I. Joe movie.
I don't.
There's been a couple of movies with G.I. Joe on the poster, but they didn't feel like G.I. Joe movies. They felt like Megaforce or something. But yeah, we'll see. Chris says Mazinger cartoon was called Transor Z. Love that cartoon. Andra says heard that Ryan Reynolds was in talks to do a live D&D movie.
Ooh.
Ryan Reynolds brings the fun.
Yeah, he does.
Like Daredevil or not Daredevil, Deadpool is all him. Like we can thank him for finally them getting that right, because the studio involvement you were talking about, that was the Wolverine Origins movie, right? There's your Deadpool. And everyone went, what is this? This isn't Deadpool.
What the hell is this?
So Reynolds was the driving force behind getting Deadpool perfect. And we got 2 perfect Deadpool movies. So anything he's involved with, I think we can trust that it'll be true to the source material. And that expression, true to the source material, the reason that's so important is because the source material was special.
Yeah.
So maybe we should throw that word in that phrase, true to the special source material, instead of just feeling like anchored.
Brought you all to the dance.
Yeah. What brought you to the dance? Instead of feeling like, oh, we're anchored to this stuff. No, it's special. You should be anchored to it. You should maybe give it a second view and try to connect with it. And I wish that there were more filmmakers, producers who would sit down, watch this stuff. And if it doesn't connect with them, then don't do it.
Pass it on to somebody else.
Maintain the rights, be an executive producer, but hire the right person.
Yep. Hire Michael Bay.
That's right. That's right. Can you imagine G.I. Joe directed by Michael Bay? Oh no!
It'll start with an explosion and end with it's just 1 2-hour explosion, slow motion, various angles.
How confused would people be if a Michael Bay G.I. Joe movie came out and it was the most magnificent military movie ever made? It was like Kubrick level of depth and
Wow.
power and like.
I don't. I don't know. I don't think that would ever happen. But never say never.
We'll take a couple more here. We've been going for an hour and a half, so thank you very much for joining me for this long, Obi.
Hey,
Mark says they should do a HD re-release of G1 Transformers cartoon with animation mistakes corrected. What do you think about that? Correcting the old mistakes, Lucas special edition style.
I don't know. HD for sure. I'm fine with the mistakes. I'm fine with them.
They've done a great recent release of the movie on Blu-ray. For a while, the only HD you could get of it was a UK exclusive, and then the North American one came. Amazon had it for dirt cheap, and it looked fantastic. As far as the mistakes, I'm afraid I've memorized too much of that movie, and any little change would exactly like the Star Wars original trilogy. The exact same thing would happen to me. Every change would be distracting and take me out of the rhythm and the flow. It's kind of like listening to a song 1,000 times since you were a kid and then changing one little thing. It's like, oh, there goes my rhythm. Yeah. Hard to get back in once that rhythm is
edit of a song and that's it. Like
yeah, like it might be technically a mistake, but it's part of the movie. It's part of the charm, and that would be one I wouldn't be purchasing. This is a show I've never watched, but Simon is saying I wish someone would do the last episode of Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon from the 80s, where they finally get to go home.
That was a good show. I remember watching that. That was a really good series.
There's quite a few shows in the 80s that never got that final episode of getting to go home or getting to have some sort of closure.
Yeah. Well, I don't think kids really cared as much when you were a kid because it's not on anymore. That's it, Mm-hmm. But now it's like, what happened to these kids? Love to see them go home. But yeah, it's not. I don't think it was as big a deal.
I think it's also. I don't know. I think I prefer the lack of closure because in the few cases where we got closure, I didn't like it. Like Death of the Incredible Hulk. Like, oh, great. Get to ignore that. The new Star Wars movies, I guess, in a sense, could be closure for the original trilogy if you don't feel like that trilogy had closure. It's like, oh, great, more stuff to ignore. Like, I'm fine with Jason the Wheeled Warriors never reuniting with his father and
bite your tongue.
Yeah, it's all good. I like it open-ended. It's all good.
Jason the Wheel Warriors. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. There's more closure for you. Last episode of Alf was disappointing. Well, they left it open-ended and then they did that TV movie that was just, how do you do a TV movie without bringing the Tanners back? I guess that's how you do it. Yak Bat says the 80s abrupt ending with no conclusion is how Game of Thrones should have ended. Yes, down with closure.
Yeah, if you can't wrap it up right, don't wrap it at all.
Here's another guy that never got to go home. This could be a whole new discussion. Sam Beck, people who never got to go home. Quantum Leap.
Yep.
Matt's saying if you look on YouTube, the final episode of D&D is on here with animation and the script too. Oh, really? That's interesting. And I think this is a good one to end on today, Obi. Classic Action Figures is asking, what's your favorite TV show ending?
Favorite TV show ending? Well, are we talking classic TV shows, or are we talking all shows ever?
Pick one of each.
If we're talking all shows ever, I'm going to bring it to Schitt's Creek. I fell in love with the show. Perfect. I thought it was a perfect ending. Classic shows. You know what? I really like the ending of Happy Days.
Really I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, it's excellent. I don't want to get the spoiler. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, that was only what, 1984, 85? I don't know what year that went off.
My favorite classic show ending is the same as Bob's. Cheers. Just made me feel really so good.
Yep.
Because what's that? Subverted expectations. They made you think it was going to go one way, and then it ended up just being a bunch of guys sitting around chatting, and it felt like they would get back together, most of them the next day. A little bit of few guys moving on, Frasier moving on, Woody moving on, but for the most part, just business as usual, and it was nice to not blow the show up.
Another day at the bar.
Yeah, another day at the bar. And then in terms of recent shows or like post 2000 shows, Breaking Bad. Amazing. That entire show is incredible from beginning to end. The arc, the story, the character development, the transformation of the main character is so perfect. And it all hinges on, like Game of Thrones, is this ending going to be any good? I didn't like the Game of Thrones ending. It kind of ruins the whole show for me, but Breaking Bad's ending is so perfect. Pretty much everyone gets what they deserve. And it's just done so well that it doesn't feel like a waste of time. I don't regret watching the show. And it just makes me feel like, what an awesome journey. That is a movie stretched out in TV show form over 5 seasons, and it is perfect. And then a couple of years later, they did El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie, to wrap up Jesse's loose ends. And that just makes it even better, because they could have stuck that in Breaking Bad final episode, but it would have felt too bloated. Yeah, shoehorned and bloated. It's nice that Jesse got his own little, it's an epilogue. It's not actually an extra ending. It's like books used to have a prologue and an epilogue. And I think it's so awesome that Breaking Bad has now a prologue, Better Call Saul, and an epilogue, El Camino. And so I always go with Breaking Bad for best modern show ending.
There you go. If I were to do a honorable mention for best show, modern show, would be the Clone Wars season 7.
Yeah. I'm working on that right now.
Clone Wars I've ever seen.
Looking forward to watching that too. All right, folks, that's and I see a bunch of great show endings being mentioned there in the chat too. Magnum. I like the original ending where he walks off into the clouds, and then they did one more season where he wakes up in the hospital bed. But one of those was good. Better Call Saul. Not done yet. I think there's one more season of that. Sopranos. I have never watched that show, but I hear an amazing ending. But thanks for hanging out with us today. It's been a blast. Obi, thank you so much. Awesome to chat with you again today.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
And everyone in the chat there, thanks so much for chatting along with us, listening along. This will be also available in podcast form on Stitcher and Google Play and all the places with podcasts. So you can check that out on the go there as well. Helps to leave a review if you want to do that as well. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks to everyone who's picked up the new Tribe shirt. Really appreciate that.
Visit TeePublic. Visit TeePublic. Get your shirts.
And looking forward to chatting with you all in the next live stream. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Stay safe out there.
Girls.
Nerdmas Day.
This is the way.